apparently.
That's an old wives' tale, like Michael Jackson.
Like Michael Jackson, just like Michael Jackson.
Like
he didn't exist.
Did
He's
not
just an old wives'
exist.
tale.
Y'all ready for this? All right. I'm Tony.
I'm Derek.
We're two dorks, and today we're gonna talk about movie documentary.
Yeah, documentary style movie. Yeah, maybe. Nintendo Quest. We both watched it. I watched it a while ago, so I'm sure there's things I'm gonna forget. But Tony watched it a few weeks ago.
About a month ago now.
Yeah, so I watched it months and months ago. I watched it when it was pretty new, but we want to share our opinion / review of Nintendo Quest. Okay, Nintendo Quest is a documentary about a guy who tries to buy all the games in the NES library in 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 days. There are a lot of questions to that came up in my mind when I heard that, and most of the questions I find didn't get answered. I found it entertaining, but I also found parts frustrating. Being a collector myself, I'm not a collector to that degree. Your opinion off the bat then, without spoilers, and we'll do spoilers after.
Right off the bat, I only watched it because you made me watch it. And I only watched it because I thought you were going to say, wow, this was so awesome. I want that hour and a half of my life back. I mean,
I kind of wanted you to think that this would be both of us arguing about it.
So you liked it?
I like parts of it.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hate it. I just like to hate on things. But
so do I, especially
I mean,
when it's something that I care about.
That's, I think, what pisses me off the most. I mean, I was excited to watch it because, you know, hey, this could be entertaining. This guy's going to try and track down all these Nintendo games in 30 days without the use of the internet, you know?
Spoilers.
Okay.
Okay?
Spoilers
now we're spoiler free.
Now we're
or spoiler open to spoilers.
If he wanted to use it without the use of the internet, then why was he still keeping track with his iPad and stuff?
I know.
Like,
I
use a pen and paper.
He said he wouldn't use the internet, yet he uses an app that has all the rarities and average prices of the games already there. That doesn't make sense. If you're going to do it without the internet, do it without the fucking internet. On top of that, he's a guy who, it sounded like he actually worked at a video game store.
It's David Grohl. It's Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters.
That's what he looks like? Kinda?
Remember how he's got a heart-on for him and everything, too? He mentions David Grohl like so many times
does he?
in the
I
movie.
barely even remember.
Yeah, I'm going to call him David Grohl. David Grohl goes on a...
His real name is
David Grohl goes on a quest.
Jay Bartlett. But anyway, yeah. Yes. He's got some, I don't know, rock star-ness to him. But,
douchebaggery.
Yeah, a little bit. A lot bit. But, he's really cocky. He's already in the industry. He's already got lots of friends that collect. He already has his own collection of games. It's not like he's some dude off the street who's just saying, I want to collect these games. Also, they never disclose what his actual budget is. So you don't know how much he's getting these games for. Sorry, you don't know how much he's spending total. But they also don't tell how much he pays for each game.
Mm-hmm. They cut out during heckling.
Yeah, they literally even say, should we show this? One time, I'm pretty sure,
Idiots.
While negotiating. Then he goes to stores like ANC Games in Toronto, which I know has terrible prices. High prices. When we were even in there, an employee said, in the background to somebody else, Cynthia overheard them, said, sometimes we put our prices up on things just so we can keep in the store longer. So it's like, I can see that from a business standpoint, but it's not good prices. It's not a good place to go if you're trying to get a lot of games really cheap. It doesn't make any sense. Mm-hmm. And that's why the camera cuts when they start negotiating deals and getting a whole bunch of games, and they don't explain it. And his very first stop was to a friend's house where he got a bunch of games. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not fair. His friend is a major collector with tons of good games, and that's where he gets a lot of the rare and expensive ones. Not rare, but expensive ones. I think one of the Mega Man games is one of the examples.
Did he even pay for them?
That's the question. They don't tell you.
Who knows? Maybe he gave him a little something.
Yeah. Maybe he said, I'll borrow these and give them back to you after.
Just for the video.
We just don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't explain well.
And doesn't he also use eBay?
At the very end.
Doesn't he get...
At the very end when he failed.
He's talking to a guy.
Spoilers, as we said.
Remember he's talking to a guy? And
yeah,
one of the deals goes through. He's never met the guy.
Yeah, so that
obviously made it...
I think they were trying to imply that he had a friend who told him to go to this guy. But still, that friend used the internet to talk to the guy because the guy's in Florida.
Yeah. If you're gonna say you're not gonna use the internet,
Don't
go
use the internet.
completely go through Nintendo
I
Power
thought he
magazines.
would be going I thought he would be going from store to store to store, all over the place, all over. He started in Canada, in London, Ontario, and he went to the U.S. Also, he doesn't fly in airplanes. He doesn't like airplanes, so he had to drive everywhere. That extends the time. He also had to go back to work for a week of it, I believe.
Yeah, doesn't even say where he works. Does he even say where he works?
No, in London, Ontario.
Yeah, but what he does,
No, I think he works at a video game store.
Yeah, that could be too.
I think he does.
Yeah, or a box factory.
But if you're doing a 30-day quest to get every game you can out of the collection, which is like 768 or 765, I can't remember. Doesn't matter. And it's only the licensed games, none of the Tengen ones. But if you're going to do that, why would you take a break in the middle to go back to work? Wouldn't you have taken time off work? That's frustrating as hell to me. Why would you do that? As a viewer of this documentary, I don't understand why they would put that there and do that. Why wouldn't they have done 30 solid days where he's actually doing it? Then it would make it more disappointing when he fails at the end. Not what it was, where I don't feel disappointed because I thought he was cheating already. Using the phone, using people online, and some guy in Florida to get this one game. I mean, yeah, it's a hard game to find, but why did you do the challenge in the first place if you were just going to cheat? Or bend the rules, let's say. I didn't see him. He didn't go to one flea market, did he? Or maybe he did go to the one. I can't remember, but flea markets, not video game stores, because video game stores have a higher markup, and they usually buy it more expensive. Did he go back to the same store?
He went to the same store. Like, oh, I'm here again. The guy was like, oh, did you get anything new? He's like, yeah, I got that.
Which store? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It was in his hometown. The last day.
Okay, yeah.
When he goes back, and it's like.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not gonna. Like I said, I almost stopped watching it. Like it was on, and I was doing other things after a while because I was just like, this wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I don't want to hate it on it too much because it was well done. Like. All the editing was well done.
Yeah. I like the concept as well.
The concept was great. Yeah. Here's what I wish would have had more. Gameplay.
That's true.
Like, I mean, hey, you just found Popeye for NES. Wow, let's play this for a bit, or hanging out with to make me want to play these games again, not just watch some asshole go to store to store.
And that's the collector mentality. The collector to collect. Not to play.
Okay.
There's a lot of guys that are, I need to get every single game, and probably not going to play 99% of them. I agree with that.
And like we all already mentioned, like if they would have shown more of the heckling.
I like that too. I like seeing the heckling.
Yeah, I like seeing the heckling. You're like, oh, he gave me a good deal. We don't know what a good deal is. You just don't want us to know what you paid for it?
Yeah, I don't want to hear backroom doors or backroom deals. I did hear actual money
Maybe you did have to go through some back doors to get some deals. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
But I probably would have enjoyed it more if it wasn't a movie. If it was a half an hour TV show,
YouTube video
series, YouTube, Netflix, something, and show more of it. That way you could show more of it. Like there's 24 hours in a day. Like how much did we miss of like just random anythingness? If you could have stretched this hour-and-a-half movie into 30 half-an-hour episodes, or even hour episodes, if you did more of that, and leave us with cliffhangers, like, oh, the guy who has such and such game is
Stadium Events, I think was what it was.
Yeah, Stadium Events. He's backing out. End of the episode. So then I'm sitting going, oh shit, is this guy gonna get Stadium Events or not? No, I just watch him go, oh.
There's little Samson
Oh, my anxiety guy. Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then he fails at the end, anyways.
And then
brutally, his dog even dies. The only thing that was left is if his dad came back to life and told him he was a piece of shit.
Oh no!
I mean,
terrible.
And then he ends up getting the game again, and then he ends up getting the game and being all emotional. It wasn't even.
And that was a gift. It was basically a gift. It was he didn't say how much he paid for it. The guy obviously felt bad for him not getting it, so he sold it to him.
Dead. And he was just like, oh wow.
And because he failed the documentary, basically.
It was like 6 months later,
and then he buys the rest of the games he missed on
I felt nothing after that.
Yeah.
That was nothing. You tried to make this into like a big deal. It was just big deal. You should have just ended it when you didn't get the games then, I guess. I don't know. There was, like I said, it just kind of infuriated me a little bit more as a gamer and collector to be like,
No,
Why aren't you talking about this? And why are you
I
talking
heard about
that?
this before it came out, and I was excited to watch it because it sounded like it would be good. I even listened to their podcast, and I listened to them talking about games, and I was excited to see it. And I even thought about going to London, Ontario at the release to go watch it in theaters, because a couple people on YouTube in the area, like Toronto area, were going to see it. And I'm like, that'd be cool to go see it, especially with other people that like collecting. But I never heard anyone give it a bad review yet.
Because there's all his friends. I don't know. But no, I mean, there's just
Okay.
it either you were missing stuff or you had stuff in there. Like I'm sorry, I don't want to hear about your dad. You don't hear us talking about our dads.
A little bit of it wouldn't have been bad to build his character or just tell his background.
Yeah, but
they
still,
went too
show
much.
me more. Yeah, show me more gameplay. And
Yeah.
okay, sorry about your dog too. Like, but still.
Yeah. Sorry you had to go back to work. Sorry you don't like flying an airplane.
Yeah.
They really could have picked someone with less issues, but
I mean, sorry you love David Grohl. Yeah, like I said, it was just. I guess I was just hoping for more, which I guess would be my fault. But still.
no. See, I was too, especially with having listened to their podcast and hearing about the launch party and the DVD release and all that stuff. I was hoping for it too. Yeah, Blu-ray even. They sold it at Waterloo Game Swap. He was actually at the Waterloo Game Swap.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd like to give him a piece of my mind. Just kidding, guy. It's all right. It's all right, fella. Relax, guy. But yeah, I could have. You know what? You're probably better off watching Kung Fury 3 times.
Yeah.
Kung Fury's half an hour. Watch that 3 times. And free instead of tracking down Nintendo Quest and finding and watching it.
Yeah. Unless you know them personally, or I can't think of any other reasons to watch it.
I mean,
if you're a collector and you want to buy all NES games, don't watch this. It will make you frustrated.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
You don't learn anything from it. You don't get any tips.
I
or
learned
help.
absolutely nothing except, well, I learned nothing about the games wise.
Yeah.
They didn't tell me anything.
Even
that
how to negotiate, that wasn't covered either.
No, they didn't tell me anything new.
Even where to go, that's not covered
Nintendo
either.
started as this and that. Yeah, thanks. I knew that.
Yeah, they did do some history stuff.
But then that was it.
But
I was like, okay, maybe they'll do this with games
That's
too.
true. I really
Why
thought
is
they were
this
gonna do
game
more of
so
that.
rare? Did they even explain why some of these games are so rare? I think they probably did.
They explained why Stadium Events is so rare, right? They talked about the Power Pad and how it was bought by Bandai.
Yeah,
Or did I see
yes,
that somewhere else?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's the one. But yeah, I mean, they could have done it for a lot more games and stuff too, right?
Yeah. Why is Little Samson so rare? I don't really know.
Yeah, I don't know, and he was pretty jacked
sell
about getting
well, but
one
I
of these other games too.
Yeah, it's the other one that other
can't
guy
remember.
had was Little Samson. That guy where he went to go buy it in his place,
And then he had.
and he had a second copy of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
He also had Little Samson,
Yeah.
but they kind of delayed him having it. They kind of acted like he had nothing. He wasn't selling anything, and they're like, no, my doubles are over here.
Mhm.
And then that was all the games he had, and he had the extra Stadium Events, and he had Little Samson.
But yeah, I mean, like to have a concept like that and to not tell us your budget, not tell us what you paid, not show how you arranged, because
How you arrange the meetups.
how you arrange the meetup.
Did you say, I'm doing a documentary and I'd like to feature your store?
Yeah.
And therefore they gave you a deal because it's free advertising. I don't like that. That's exactly what it came off as.
Mhm.
I hope that's not what it was, but that's exactly what it came off
Big
as.
time.
Yeah.
Like I said, like
ANC Games, you have
It's-
both the owners there. If I walk in, I don't have the owners talking to me. I'm not going in off hours to go talk to them. I can't get that deal. So what's the point in me watching this documentary to learn what I could do if I made a documentary?
just do it. Like if I did it, I could probably do it because I don't care about prices.
Yeah.
Just here, take my money, guy. But you'd know. I'd tell you. I'd tell you what I paid for it.
I'd have to do it.
I'd
so
tell you
cheap.
what I paid for it,
Yeah.
and you'd see the negotiations. Like that's something that interests a lot of people. Like, how did he get that deal? Like, what did he do? Like, did the guy break? Like everyone watches what Pawn Stars and all those other shows.
And even Game Chasers. I showed you that
Yeah.
a couple times. I think
that's why
they show the
that's what makes those
negotiation. They go
shows
to frickin' flea
interesting,
markets.
right?
You see them find gems in places you wouldn't expect it, and that was not this movie at all.
It was just I don't know. It was like I said. It wasn't poorly done quality wise
No, it
or
was really
editing
well done.
wise. And like I said, maybe if it was done in installments, it would have been better. But no, sir. I didn't like it.
No, I don't like it. I agree. I'm glad I watched it. I don't want my time back, but I wish it had been done better for the reasons we mentioned.
That is true.
So,
again, don't want to hate, not hating too much. Don't hate the player, hate the game, as they say.
no, this could also all be blamed on the editor, or blamed on the marketing people, or
That's true,
blamed
too.
on producer. I mean, it could be anybody's fault. But it sounded like they knew what they were getting into when they started, because they were talking off camera. You could barely hear at some points where they were saying cut editing or don't record this when they were doing deals. And I don't like it.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's enough.
That's enough.
That's our quick review.
So, do we give it a number?
Oh Jesus! Out of 10, 6.
It's a failing for me. It's got to be a 4.
All right. We
4.
can agree on a 5.
I guess between the two of us, a
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just barely passes.
Yeah.
Just barely passes as something watchable. Like.
Yeah, and only because we're into it. We like
Yeah.
games, and we like collecting, and we like knowing what games are rare, right? Yep.
And that's it. Nintendo Quest.
Don't watch it.
No.
Unless you really want to.
Not really. I'm
All
Tony.
right. I'm Derek.
We're two dorks.
Ooh, ooh.